What is happening, beautiful people? I am your host, Abyss for Shiz, and today we are going to be talking about a lot of horror movies. So strap in because it's going to be a long one. Alright, so as you guys can see, we've got the tier list all set up right here. At the very top, we've got top tier in purple, we've got very good in red, just good in yellow, well, orangish, I guess you could say, not too shabby in yellow, just okay in light orange, bargain bin in darker orange. Well, I mean, they're both pretty light, but you know what I mean. And then at the bottom, we've got complete garbage. So, in this list, we have got 107 movies to cover. That makes 14 different franchises, from Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, Halloween, Five Nights at Freddy's, Terrifier, It, Alien, Predator, Saw, Texas Chainsaw, Chucky, Scream, and Hellraiser. So, we have got a lot to go through, so let's just get right into it. Starting off here with the original Friday the 13th, I am going to set Friday the 13th, 1980 in good. I'm going to set it in just the good tier because, honestly, it's a pretty standard slasher movie. Like, it's not bad by any means, but, like, even the writers of the movie admitted that they were kind of just, like, trying to cash in on the success of Halloween, and you can kind of tell a little bit. But it's overall, it's a decent time. It's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in checking out the Friday the 13th franchise and you want to see where it all began. And yeah, overall, good tier. Up next, we have the first Five Nights at Freddy's film. And I think I'm going to give that another good. Just, I think, well, we'll see. I'll keep it in the good tier. I think the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie is pretty good, and I'm kind of saying this as someone who's clearly a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, but I think objectively it gets the story of, like, the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, it gets it conveyed very well through the format of a movie, in my opinion. I think this movie very easily, like, explains what it's about. And, you know, like, because, like, Five Nights at Freddy's lore is just infamous for being complicated, as everyone who's not even a fan of FNAF would know. And, yeah, this movie overall, even though it's not very scary, like, if I was ranking this movie based off of scariness, it would definitely go lower. But in terms of just, like, objective quality and writing, I think it's overall good. It's a solid introduction to the FNAF franchise, and overall, you know, yeah, good tier. Up next, we've got the first Terrifier, and wow, I'm getting another good tier here. Good tier, but it might even go down into not too shabby, if I'm being completely honest, because I think the first Terrifier movie is a little bland. Like the kills are good, but, like, that's all it really has going for it. It's kind of bland in the story department. It's kind of just a gore porn type of movie. You know what? Actually, yeah, I think I am gonna put that in not too shabby, because, like, again, it ain't that bad of a movie. Like, it's good, but, like, it's, I know it was just in good tier, but, you know, it's fine, it's doable. But I think the later Terrifier movies are just better not even just in terms of gore, but I think the stories are a bit better in those as well. And yeah, overall, not too shabby. Friday the 13th Part 2, another good tier, because this was the first one that had Jason in it. And in this one, he had the sack face, as opposed to the hockey mask yet, which he will get in the next film. And overall, the kills are pretty good. I like Jason's sack face design. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I do like the hockey mask more, but I think that the sack face is definitely unique for what it was. And if we never got the hockey mask design, I would actually still think that sack face Jason is still a pretty iconic look. But yeah, overall, another good tier, Friday the 13th Part 2. Ooh. Now here is the best of the classic Friday the 13th. So that's going to be our first top tier. Friday the 13th Part 4, in my opinion, is the best Friday the 13th movie of the classics. I don't know if I like that one, or actually I don't want to spoil it, but there's another movie that I kind of like a little more than Final Chapter. But Final Chapter of the classic Friday movies is awesome. I think the kill with Jason's machete going into the fucking side of his face is pretty awesome. And, like, that poster overall, too, is also just very, very hard and iconic. I have a shirt of it that I think I think I still have that shirt of it, but I remember having it in high school. And yeah, overall, definitely one of the first top tiers. Oh my God, we're I don't know why we're covering so much Friday the 13th to begin with, but New Blood. I don't know if I want to put it in not too shabby or just okay, but I think I'm gonna put it in not too shabby, just for. Actually, no, that doesn't even save it. No, you're going in just okay, honestly. Friday the 13th New Blood, for those who haven't seen it, is basically the Jason versus Carrie movie. He fights the girl with telekinetic powers, and it's just like, it's really dumb. Like, the whole reason it was even like that was because back in the day it was originally supposed to be Freddy versus Jason, but like there was still copyright stuff that stopped it from happening for another 15 years. So they're like, oh, just change it to a girl with fucking telekinetic powers, and we'll just give her a different name other than Carrie. And the kills are very censored in the movie. For those that remember, like it cuts away from a lot of the kills for what should be very awesome ones, like the what do you call it? Like the buzzsaw. No, it's not a buzzsaw. The weed whacker. When Jason has the weed whacker and it just like cuts away from that, it's just like, why would you do that, dude? Like, this movie's rated R and we're here to see the fucking gore, and you know, like that's just stupid. So yeah, overall, what's stopping this from being in bargain bin and complete garbage is honestly just Jason's design. Jason's design in this movie is very iconic, and it's one of like the best designs in the entire franchise. So that's like pretty much the only thing stopping this from just being overall completely garbage. And yeah, just fine. Classic Evil Dead. Top tier. I mean, come on. Do I even need to explain? Like, this movie is a classic. It revolutionized horror. I mean, every movie that came after it also did, but, well, every Evil Dead movie, the second one in Army of Darkness were even more revolutionary than this one, but still, this movie is iconic. It's a classic. It rightfully goes up into top tier. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. And overall, yeah, very good movie. Oh, here's another one of the best Friday the 13ths. I think... Fuck it, yeah. Yeah, it'll go top tier. Part 6 is awesome. Jason Lives has a really cool Jason design. It's the first movie where Jason is a resurrected zombie. And like throughout the rest of the franchise, he remains as that. Up until the remake, obviously. But this movie is also very awesome. Has a lot of great kills. Has a lot of great moments. And like it's also fairly funny too. Like, it's got some comedy in there, which is, you know, not exactly in the previous movies. I guess you could say there's moments of comedy in the previous Friday the 13th, but like this one seems like it's a little more intentionally goofy. But also still, you know, still scary in certain parts. So yeah, overall, another top tier. All right. Come on. All right. You knew it had to go up there. You knew it had to go in top tier. Come on now. Let's not play no games. You knew where this was going. Even if you personally don't think it's a top tier, you knew it was going up there. Come on now. It's the OG Halloween, classic Michael Myers. Like, you can't beat it. There is yet to be a Halloween movie that is better than that one. There are some that come pretty close, but none of them are better. So good. Undisputably top tier. Whew, and that fucking jump. Oh, yeah, that's easily a bargain bin, in my opinion. Halloween 5 sucks. Oh my god, that jump from the first one to 5 is crazy. Oh, dude, just like the mask that Michael has in that movie is just like terrible. Like, probably the worst in the entire franchise. Like, the only one that's worse is probably the CGI one that shows up for a split second in H2O. But the plot of this movie is just really dumb. It's just... Yeah, I don't even want to talk about this one. It's just stupid. But speaking of part 5, At least there's a better one right here. This one's actually pretty good. I'm gonna stick it in not too shabby. Maybe yeah, go above Terrifier. No, come here. I'm gonna stick that in not too shabby. Because Part 5, it does have some pretty cool kills, but for those that have seen Part 5, it is obviously the one that has the copycat Jason, Roy Burns. And, yeah, I just think that was interesting. That's what they chose to do before bringing Jason back for a movie. Like, if they had gone down the route of, like, the Friday the 13th franchise, just having people being copycats of Jason rather than just Jason coming to life. Or imagine if they did one more movie with the Jason copycat, and then Jason simultaneously comes to life and, like, interferes with the copycat and kills him. Like, that would be pretty cool. But as for this movie, yeah, it's not too shabby. You know, it's a pretty standard Friday the 13th sequel. And, like, you know, the big thing it's got going for it is the whole copycat Jason thing. And, yeah, overall, it's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. The Hellraiser remake. I'm conflicted on where to put it, because it's not like I didn't like it, but it kind of made me fall asleep watching it, if I'm being completely honest. So I think it's going to go in just okay. You know, like, it had some good moments, but man, it's just boring, bro. It's fucking boring. I mean, like, I like the whole idea of, like, the female Pinhead. I thought that was pretty cool, but, like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It seems like Hellraiser is just kind of a tired franchise. You know, it doesn't really have much steam left, and this was just an attempt to bring it back to life, which, you know, I respect that they attempted to bring it back to life, but it's just okay. You know, ain't got a whole lot going for it. Halloween 6, another just okay. Actually, you know what? No, I think this one might even go in bargain bin as well. Michael looks alright in this movie. Like, he doesn't look that bad, but, like, the whole plot line with, like, the cult making him, like, rape his niece and all that, like, I might even have to censor that for YouTube, but, like, fuck, dude, that's just so dumb and gross and, like, needlessly ruining a slasher character. It's just, yeah, not great. Not great. Going in bargain bin. Our first Saw film, and it's not even the first one. Saw 2. Saw 2 is going to be our first very good. I love Saw 2. I personally think it's better than the first Saw movie, just by a little bit. And the traps are really cool in this one. I like that, like, you know, Jigsaw's kind of got, like, the police on edge, but, like, you know, they can't really arrest him throughout the whole movie. Like, it was a cool thing that it had going on. And, yeah, overall, very good. And also, by the way, my apologies if I'm just kind of running through a lot of these movies. But I mean, we got a lot of them to cover, you know what I mean? So it's not like I can give super in-depth thoughts on all of them. Child's Play. I think, yeah, top tier. The original Child's Play, awesome. Very great movie, holds up very well. I like that this movie is, like, Chucky's just, like, straight up scary. I mean, I do appreciate funny Chucky, obviously, and I actually like funny Chucky more than scary Chucky, but, like, when Chucky is just being straight up scary with, like, you know, a little bit of charm here and there, he's great. You know, he's still great in that mode, too, and this movie is awesome. I recommend it to anyone who wants to, you know, like, get into horror or check out the Chucky films. Yeah, overall, another top tier. H2O. Another good tier. H2O ain't that bad, but I think it's a little overrated because, like, I personally just don't have that attachment to it that, like, a lot of millennials or older horror fans seem to have to it. It just never really did it for me. I always thought Michael looked kind of silly, but I mean, I'm talking about this movie like it's like trash or something, but, like, it's good. Like, I think the plot is fine, but again, Michael just doesn't look that great in it, and that's sort of a big factor in whether or not, like, I really like a Halloween movie or not, is, like, kind of how cool Michael looks. And this is not one where Michael looks all that great. So I mean, I can't put it too high, but it is a good movie for what it is. So overall another good tier. Son. Yeah. I think we can all agree that it's definitely complete garbage. Definitely complete garbage. I mean, it's silly to point and laugh at, but oh my god, is this movie a giant fucking spit to the whole Halloween franchise. Holy shit, this movie is so bad. Fucking Busta Rhymes, fucking kicking Michael Myers and shit. It's just retarded. But it is funny to watch. Halloween, the Rob Zombie remake. I'm gonna give that another good. I do like Michael himself, like when he's an adult. Like, I do like Zombie's take on that. I think that is pretty unique and interesting. But I kind of felt like the backstory he gave Michael was a little, I don't know, like, not in like poor taste necessarily, but it just seemed unnecessary. Like, why would you make Michael Myers come from like this white trash like background and all this stuff? Like, it just seems a little unnecessary. Like, I kind of like, I preferred the idea of Michael Myers just like being a regular kid, and then he's just like one day turns into like this evil bastard. Like, I kind of find that to be more interesting. But for what this is, it's still pretty good. Still worth a watch, to be honest. And when we get to it, I honestly do kind of like the sequel to Rob Zombie's Halloween a little more, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Overall, another good tier. Nightmare on Elm Street. Definitely another top tier. Listen, I am a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I love Freddy Krueger. I think he is an awesome character. He is definitely not just my favorite horror villain, but probably favorite villain of all time. Obviously, some of his later movies are a little goofy, but I think the original Elm Street holds up very well. And even like 42 years later, however long it's been, I think this movie is still incredibly effective. It's kind of got like that Jaws thing going on, where like Jaws makes you afraid to go to the water, whereas Nightmare on Elm Street makes you afraid to go to sleep again, I think if you showed this movie to like someone who hasn't seen a lot of horror movies, it would still scare them. Like, just overall, very effective. Another top tier. Freddy Krueger is one of the OGs. And up next, we've got Jason Takes Manhattan. Come here. Yeah, that's getting a bargain bin. Now, Jason Takes Manhattan is just stupid. Like, I think the only redeeming qualities that movie even has that's stopping me from putting it in complete garbage is like the cinematography of Jason being in Manhattan. I think that stuff is pretty cool. However, that's like the only thing carrying this movie, because the kills in it are also pretty dumb. And like Jason's look isn't all that great. He's just got like this weird, like greasy, wet look to him the entire movie. And then at the end of the movie, he falls into some fucking toxic sludge and turns into like a little boy. Like, it's just silly and dumb, like unnecessary movie. Didn't need to exist. Going in bargain bin. Evil Dead 2. Another top tier. Another top tier. What can I say? This is one of the greatest movies ever made. One of the greatest movies ever made. Indisputably. It's just so good. Ash cutting his fucking hand off, putting the chainsaw on his arm. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. You just can't. I mean, there's like a few movies I think are a little better, but my God, Evil Dead 2. Such a fantastic movie. Such a fantastic movie. Definitely deserving of being in the top tier. Alright. Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Another bargain bin. This movie's pretty fucking bad. Even as a Freddy Krueger fan, I can't defend this movie. I can't defend this movie, Part 6, or the remake, but I'm not going to talk about those two movies just yet. As for Part 5, this movie's just weird and gross, and, like, Freddy has, like, this weird, like, bubblegum makeup design on him. It's just, you know, it just doesn't look very good. I think the only part of it that's, like, very creative or cool is, like, the comic book part, but even then, it's still pretty gimmicky. And, like, the movie, it's just not scary. You know, it's way too jokey, it's way too Looney Tunes, and it's just, you know, it's just dumb. Overall, bargain bin. Halloween 2018. Halloween 2018. I'm putting this, I think for now, we'll stick it in very good and see where it goes. Originally, I wouldn't hesitate to put it in top tier, but Halloween Ends kind of makes me hesitate to put it in the top tier, just because of, like, knowing where the story's eventually going to go. But appreciating Halloween 2018 on its own merits, for me, at least for me personally, is not very hard. Jesus Christ, voice crack. For me personally, appreciating Halloween 2018 on its own merits is not very hard, because it was my first Halloween movie that I'd ever seen in a theater. That was a pretty special experience for me. Like, this movie was like 14 when I came out, and, like, I still think it's really good. I understand where a lot of people come from, like, you know, like people like Cody Leach and whatnot. Like, I completely respect their opinions, by the way. But I think this movie is just, I think it's really good. Like, I think it's pretty close to being top tier, but Halloween Ends just kind of holds it back a little bit. And, yeah, overall, very good tier. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll move up to top tier. Maybe my thoughts on Halloween Ends won't affect 2018 too much, and I might move it into top tier. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to keep it in very good. Friday the 13th, Part 3. I think I'm going to give that another good. Funny, the first three classic Fridays are all in good tier. But, yeah, Part 3, it's pretty good. It's just good, you know. The goofy, like, 3D kill effects are definitely, you know, like, they're definitely goofy. They don't hold up very well. But you gotta give this movie a lot of credit for introducing the hockey mask look for Jason. Like, that alone is what makes me look past, like, all of the goofy, like, bad 3D kills. Is because, like, you know, without this movie, we wouldn't have, like, that iconic Jason Voorhees look that we have now. And, yeah, overall good. Yeah, giving that a good tier. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. New Nightmare is going in top tier, in my opinion. I think New Nightmare is a very, very good movie. Kind of slept on, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, among Elm Street fans, it's definitely more, like, appreciated and noticed. But I think as a whole, this movie's, like, honestly aged pretty well. And, like, despite having some goofy effects here and there, I think it's, you know, I think it's really good. Now, like, if I would say it's better than Scream, I'm not sure. And the only reason I even make that comparison is because, like, you know, everyone knows that it's a bit of a precursor to Scream. But, yeah, overall, another top tier. Another top tier. Alright. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Who doesn't love Freddy vs. Jason, bro? Who doesn't love Freddy vs. Jason? Like, you're tripping if you don't like Freddy vs. Jason, bro. Freddy vs. Jason is a better versus movie than Batman vs. Superman. And I'm saying this as, like, the world's #1 Batman fan. Like, I love Freddy vs. Jason. I think this movie is awesome. Obviously, like, the human characters are a little hit or miss, but, like, that's not even what's important. When you get to what's important, Freddy and Jason fighting, cinema. It's absolute cinema. Definitely deserving of being in the top tier. Ooh, the newest kid on the block. The newest film out of everyone here. Scream 7. This is actually a little bit of a tough choice. This is kind of a tough choice, I'm not gonna lie. This, because it is really bad. Scream 7 sucks. But, like, would I put it in, like, complete garbage territory? Fuck it, yeah. Yeah. Scream 7 sucks. Scream 7 is so bad. Like, it is unbelievable how much they fucked that movie up. And I mean, like, I thought Scream 6 was just fine. Like, I didn't think it was, like, amazing or anything, but, you know, I thought it was a good enough continuation of the franchise. So, you know, same goes for Scream 5. But, God, dude. They took a fat fucking nosedive with Scream 7. Like, an unbelievably fat nosedive. And just for them to, like, lie, and also, fuck spoilers. Like, you want to complain about some spoiler warning, like, who gives a shit? This movie sucks. If you haven't heard from everyone that this movie sucks already, then, like, you know, who are you getting your news from? But anyways, Stu Macher's not even actually back in this movie. He's just a fucking AI. Stupid bullshit. Fuck this movie. Okay. Now on to another classic. Another top tier, baby. Aliens. In my opinion, the best Alien film. I like it a little more than the first Alien. I like how much more action-packed this one is. And, yeah, overall just a classic. I don't have too much to say about it just because, like, obviously a lot of these movies, what can be said about these movies has been said, like, a million times over by a lot of people. So, like, I'm just trying to avoid not saying too much of what you've already heard somewhere else. But, yeah, overall, Aliens, another top-tier classic. Okay, here we've got the most recent Terrifier movie, Terrifier 3. I think I'm going to stick that one very good. That is my favorite Terrifier by far. I think the story is really good. I like that it's like Christmas carnage, you know, you don't always see that. And for like a slasher Christmas carnage movie, it's just really good. I think the kills are fucking just fantastic and gory fun. And, you know, Art the Clown knows how to be a fucking visceral son of a bitch. I will tell you that much. He knows how to be a fucking visceral goddamn asshole. Another very good entry in my opinion. Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 is going to get a good from me. Again, you know, kind of other than my Christmas opinions, basically same thoughts as Terrifier 3. An improvement over the first movie in the story and the carnage candy department. It's definitely a very fucking brutal movie. I think 3 is only just barely a little more brutal than 2. But, like, fuck, dude, 2 has an incredibly high goddamn bar set. But, yeah, overall, a good tier. 2017 It. I'm going to set 2017 It at the very top, or, yeah, I think very top of good is, I think that's plausible. I think we can all get behind that. I think if I were ranking TV shows, then I would have It, Welcome to Derry, and very good, but not to get into that show. It 2017, it's pretty good. You know, it's a solid movie. I think it gets kind of goofy at times with like how hard it's trying to be scary. But the writing and the plot overall is still pretty good, and Pennywise can still be scary at times, or this version of Pennywise. But yeah, overall, another good. Definitely a modern classic. I will say modern classic for sure. the OG Scream. That's also going to go up into the top tier. I think we can all understand why. I mean, it's Scream. That, like, you know, it revolutionized horror as we know it. Even if it started to, you know, sniff its own farts a little too much later down the line, you can't discredit what it started. Overall, another top tier. Another top tier. Scream 2. Scream 2, I'm going to set in good. I feel like Scream 2 is definitely one of the better Scream sequels, but it kind of gets a little lost. A lot of the sequels kind of get a little lost in the sauce a bit, kind of like lose focus and lose sight of like what made the first one so great and revolutionary. It just seems to kind of ride the coattails of the first movie a little bit as the sequels go on. But I think the ones, at least made by Wes Craven, seem a little more independent. Whereas like 5, 6, well, not really 6, but like 5 seems a little derivative, and 6, while mostly doing its own thing, is just like, you know, it's just kind of lazy. And then 7, well, we already talked about 7. And yeah, overall, another good tier for Scream 2. Hey, I just wanted to take a quick second to shout out you, the viewers. Thank you for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe as well if you can. Now back to the video. Alright, so the next film up on our to-do list is Jason X. And, yeah, this is gonna go in complete garbage, in my opinion. I don't like Jason X. It's goofy and silly and whatnot, but, like, it's just, like, Jason in space? Why? Like, that's just, that's dumb. And the movie overall is pretty dumb. The kills aren't that great, besides, like, the ice one. And, yeah, overall, a complete garbage, in my opinion. Scream 3. Scream 3 is gonna get a not too shabby from me. It's getting a not too shabby because the story's not that bad, but the kills are just, like, non-existent. And the lighting of this movie is also fucking non-existent. You can barely see anything. The movie is overall fine, so, you know, it's getting a not too shabby. Evil Dead 2013. You are going in very good, my beloved. Evil Dead 2013 is awesome. It is an awesome, gory, fun time. And if you have never seen an Evil Dead movie before, I would obviously recommend you start with the originals. But if you wanted to start somewhere else, this movie is also a fantastic starting point. What an awesome movie. Such a gory good time. Going at the top of very good. Moving on, we have got the original Hellraiser. This is gonna go in very good. Very good. I think the original Hellraiser is a very good movie. It is definitely a classic horror film. You know, it's got its issues here and there, but like overall, I do like what the movie's got going for it. The Cenobites look really cool, especially the Chatterer. And yeah, overall, another very good tier. What a jump. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Seed of Chucky at all. When we get to Bride of Chucky, I'll talk about how big of a fan I am of that movie. But Seed of Chucky, I do not like the direction that they went in for this movie. I don't like how much of a parody this movie is. Like, it leans too far into parody territory for my liking. Like, it feels less like an actual Chucky movie and like more like a parody. And, you know, it just doesn't work for me. Like, it's another complete garbage in my opinion. Alien 3. Yeah, Alien 3's getting a bargain bin from me. Not very good. I don't like the retcons that it does to the first two movies. It's just unnecessary. And, yeah, overall, just That movie sucks. Hellraiser fucking... I think that's like Hellseeker or something. But, yeah. Bargain bin. Matter of fact, I'm going to just get these out of the way. Let me see. Where's fucking generic Hellraiser sequel? There we go. Okay. Yeah. I know it seems a little unfair. I know that seems unfair that I'm just like skimming through a bunch of these movies, but like these ones I kind of feel the need to just skim through because they're not Hellraiser movies. These are just like movies with like a random plot that someone threw in the recycle bin that someone else found and was like, hey, let's attach this to this fucking franchise that's like semi-popular and maybe this movie will make $5 instead of $2.50. And these movies are they're just not very good. They're just not. I mean, there are good Hellraiser sequels, but these are not them. And moving on, we've got Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is getting not too shabby in my opinion. So Halloween Ends really isn't that bad. Like, I think the story is like solid enough, but it introduces way too much stuff for the final film of a trilogy. Like, they're supposed to be wrapping the story up until this point. My apologies, now I'm back. Had a little bit of a cough fit. Anyways, Halloween Ends, not that bad. Like, honestly, the stuff between Michael and Laurie is, like, pretty good. But the stuff with Corey kind of drags it down because it's like, dude, why are we introducing all of this shit in the final movie of a trilogy that's supposed to be wrapping up everything we've seen in the last two movies? Like, you know, it seems a little late to be introducing these concepts that could probably need a movie or two to fucking flesh out. And it ultimately doesn't even really go anywhere because Corey dies. You know, it just seems like they were trying to tackle too much for one movie. And they had some odd ideas that they maybe should have left on the cutting room floor. And overall, yeah. Yeah, not too shabby, but also should have been better. Halloween 4. I'm going to stick that in the good tier. You know, it's kind of like the H2O thing where, like, you know, I do think it's a good movie, but Michael's mask just looks terrible. And that's a big part of what holds it back from being higher, in my opinion. But I do like the idea of, like, Michael coming back after a long time and Laurie's either dead or just, you know, not in Haddonfield anymore. And the new niece character they introduce, I do like her. She's a pretty cool character, although she gets wasted in Halloween 5, like we already discussed. She is pretty cool in this one, and yeah, overall, another good tier. Halloween 3. Not there. Halloween 3. I think Halloween 3 is getting another good from me. Halloween 3 really should just be part of its own franchise. Like, I know that they were trying to do the whole anthology route back then, but they really should have just taken the script and made it for a different franchise because, like, Halloween was already established as, like, the Michael Myers franchise. They'd already done 2 movies with him. It was, you know, it seems a little late to do the whole anthology stuff. But I think if this movie was just Season of the Witch and didn't have any connection to the Michael Myers franchise, then I would probably have it higher because it's honestly a really good movie to watch during Halloween time. And overall, yeah, another good tier. Army of Darkness, another top tier, another fucking top tier. Another one of the greatest fucking movies ever made. Straight up classic. Straight the fuck up classic. Indisputable. Movie is funny as hell. So funny. And like, you know, again, like Five Nights at Freddy's, if I was ranking these movies based on how scary they are, maybe it'd be lower. But I'm just going off of quality. And going off of quality, Army of Darkness is another top tier. Indisputable. One of the GOATs. I almost did a Donald Trump thing there, but it is one of the GOATs. Yeah, another top tier. I can hardly put into words how much I genuinely despise the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Like, for the most part, it's just a lazy remake of the original. Like, it's not all that offensive up until they decided to make Freddy Krueger a straight-up pedophile. Then it was just like, alright, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Like, you have gone way past the point of no return, and you have now turned Freddy Krueger into something else. Congratulations on tarnishing his fucking public reputation for almost 20 years to come. This movie's been out for almost 20 fucking years. And, like, I'm pretty sure that goddamn movie, other than the fact that the Craven estate is kind of stingy, is the reason that there's been no traction on any new sort of fucking Freddy movie or anything like that. So fuck that fucking movie. Fuck Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. Fuck that goddamn piece of shit. It's going right at the fucking bottom. God, I hate that movie. Anyways, Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, this one's also... Actually, I might put it in bargain bin. Literally the only thing stopping it from being complete garbage is the Necronomicon Easter egg and the fact that it sets up Freddy vs. Jason at the end. That's the only thing stopping it from going in complete garbage. But other than that, this movie sucks. This movie is just no bueno. No bueno. Saw number 1. Saw number 1 is going to go in the very good tier. Most certainly a classic of its time. Honestly, like, just, it's a great movie. Honestly, the plot holds up pretty well. The kills and the traps hold up really well. And just Jigsaw's a very effective villain as always. Overall, another very good. Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is going to get another very good. I think Alien Romulus is awesome. It's certainly one of the better Alien sequels, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's also one of the scarier Alien sequels. I remember seeing this in the theater with my mom, stepdad, and brother. We all loved it. We thought it was great. And it's definitely very gross as well. But, like, you know, the best kind of gross. And, yeah, overall, another very good. Texas Chainsaw 2022. Complete garbage. Complete garbage. I can't believe that that's the first Texas Chainsaw film we're talking about. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, this movie sucks. This movie is so horrendously terrible. The only redeeming factors it has is that you can point and laugh at how fucking stupid it is. Oh my god. Enough. I'm not talking about this movie anymore. Texas Chainsaw 3. That is going to get not too shabby from me. It's not too shabby in all honesty. You know, like, the kills are pretty decent. Leatherface's design is honestly pretty cool. The chainsaw has the Saw's family on it. Like, it's a decent time. It's honestly a decent time. Like, it's one of the more tolerable of the fucking Texas Chainsaw sequels and remakes, if I'm being completely honest. And, yeah, it's getting another not too shabby. Halloween Kills. Wait, where'd you go? There we go. Halloween Kills is getting a very good, in my opinion. I love Halloween Kills. I know it got a lot of shit when it came out, and there's still a lot of people that don't really like it. And I mean, the criticisms are fair. However, Michael looks fucking awesome, and the kills are fucking awesome. Like, everything about Michael in this movie is just so good. Michael is like practically at his peak in this movie. Like, this is peak Michael Myers. Just for that reason alone, I just love this fucking movie. And I can admit there are other parts of it that are pretty stupid, but like, I can look past that. I can look past that if Michael Myers is just a fucking brutal badass. And he is that. He is 100% that. Overall, another very good. The fuck? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's a pretty big jump. That's a pretty big jump. Another one of the worst ones. Hellraiser Revelations. I'm sure a lot of you know why I kind of skipped out on shoving that one into bargain bin with its other friends. Because it ain't no bargain bin. It's complete trash. This is some shit that they made for like on a fucking $2 budget just to keep the fucking rights to the franchise. This shit sucks. It's getting the complete garbage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Another complete garbage. Another. And what do you know? It's another Texas Chainsaw. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this movie sucks. The Next Generation is so ass. Holy fuck. I almost forgot about that one. Oh. Oh, at least it was one of Matthew McConaughey's first fucking movie gigs. That's like one of the only fucking positive things you can say about it. Dude, what is with all the garbage movies being right next to each other? Oh my god. I mean, The Predator's not complete garbage, but it's fuck, dude. It's not very good. I'll put it at like the top bargain bin. Oh, fucking Predator 2018 sucks. The only fucking good thing it had going for it was like the beginning of the movie when the fucking like the bigger predator is hunting the smaller one. Like that shit was pretty cool. But then after that, it just becomes stupid. It just becomes fucking like. And, like, you know, nothing against, like, the kid that's retarded in the movie, but the movie itself just becomes so fucking retarded after a while. Like, God, dude, fucking bargain bin bullshit. Saw 5. Saw 5 is getting just okay from me. Saw 5 is just okay. I think it's definitely one of the weaker Saw sequels, because, like, you know, it's got, like, I forget his name, but he's got like the detective that's taken over for Kramer after he's died and whatnot, and that character is just kind of meh in my opinion. And yeah, overall, another just okay. Alright, now here's where we're getting to the part where a lot of people might click off the video. I'm sorry. I really like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I do. I think it's really good in my opinion. Now the White Horse stuff, that stuff's retarded. That stuff is dumb. I don't think any of that shit needs to be in the movie. Everything else though, I think it's really good. I think this movie is genuinely one of the more sophisticated Halloween sequels. Well, sophisticated, but like I feel like this movie genuinely has like more to offer and more going for it than a lot of previous Halloween sequels. A lot of previous Halloween sequels are kind of dull and repetitive in my opinion. And this one, I feel like, if nothing else, brings a lot of cool and unique stuff to the table. It stands on its own pretty well. It's honestly, yeah, another very good from me. Saw 4. Saw 4 is gonna get a good from me. Saw 4 is pretty good. I remember this movie having some pretty good kills in it. Well, you know, traps. It has some pretty good traps in it. I think the plot overall is pretty solid. And, yeah, another good tier. Another good tier. Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3. That'll get another good from me. That'll get another good. I like Child's Play 3. It's definitely the weakest of like the first three movies, but it's got some cool kills in it, and Chucky is pretty funny in this movie. That's another reason I give it a lot of leeway, because Chucky is decently funny in it. But yeah, overall another good tier. Classic Halloween 2. Going into very good. Honestly, definitely one of the better Halloween sequels. Michael looks really cool in it. There's some decent kills in it. It's definitely a lot more like slasher, Friday the 13th-esque than the first movie was. But that ain't a bad thing. That ain't a bad thing, honestly. And yeah, overall another very good tier. The original Alien. Alien, yeah, you're going up in the top tier. Let's move up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Classic Alien. I just called it a classic. You know, we all know it's a classic. It's, you know, it holds up very well. It could be considered boring to some people, honestly, but I don't think it's boring. I think it's just a very nice slow burn. It honestly gets you in the mood for when it does get scary, and it's pretty intense when it does get scary. Overall, yeah, another rightfully deserved top tier award. Scream 6. Scream 6. Scream 6 is gonna get a not too shabby from me, because it's not too shabby. I think the New York setting is pretty cool. I think the setup for the plot is pretty decent. However, I think the Ghostface reveal is incredibly fucking stupid and kind of brings down the movie a lot, which is why it's not even in good tier. Because like that Ghostface reveal is genuinely, and no disrespect to Scooby-Doo, but for like a movie that's supposed to be R-rated and taking itself like super seriously, it was genuinely some fucking Scooby-Doo bullshit. You know what I mean? Like Scream 6 is just, that just brings it down by a lot. So yeah, it's getting not too shabby, because it does have some good parts and has some cool stuff to offer, but it's just a little dumb. Alien versus Predator. Also not too shabby. I don't know why this movie's not rated R, and I don't know why the fucking camera angles suck, but you know, when you can actually see Alien and Predator fighting each other, it ain't half bad. It's decent, you know. Freddy versus Jason is definitely better, but you know, this one, not half bad. Spiral from the Book of Saw. Also gonna get a not too shabby from me. Spiral, I remember seeing this one in theaters with a couple buddies, and we definitely had ourselves a good time at the theater watching this. But I don't know, this movie, it feels very unnecessary. Like it didn't really need to exist, if I'm being completely honest, especially since it's never getting followed up on. But yeah, overall it's fine. Not too shabby. You know, worth checking out if you're a Saw fan or if you like those types of movies. And yeah. Texas Chainsaw Remake. You are going right up in the top tier. And also, I'm gonna say this right now. I like the Texas Chainsaw Remake more than the original. I do. I really do. I mean, I still love the original. The original's a great movie, but I think the remake is more effective. At least for me. The remake is more effective. I love how grimy and gross and just like disgusting the movie looks. Like it has just like this great look to it that just captures it perfectly. And overall, yeah, another top tier in my opinion. Fucking gross, disgusting movie, but in all the best ways. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. That's gonna get it good from me. Nightmare on Elm Street 4 ain't half bad. it's definitely a big downgrade from Part 3, which we'll get to that movie. I love that movie, but I'm not going to get into it too much right now. But Part 4, a decent follow-up to the third movie. Would be better if it leaned more towards horror, but it was definitely leaning more towards comedy than anything else. Freddy was definitely starting to turn more into a Looney Tunes character with this film. But I do think 4 is better than Part 5 and Part 6 because at the very least, it does still at least have a little bit of horror going for it, and I can appreciate that. So overall, another good tier. Oh, and also, this movie has one of the best Freddy Krueger makeup looks, in my opinion. I think Freddy looks really cool in that movie. And yeah, overall, another good tier. Oh, Leatherface. Bargain bin. Bargain bin for sure. For sure. Leatherface is for sure getting that bargain bin. It's not that bad, but it's completely unnecessary. We did not need to see an origin story for Leatherface, because I mean he's a real person. You could just look into the history of what happened with the real Leatherface, and it's just dumb. It didn't need to exist. Didn't need to be made. Overall, bargain bin movie. Friday the 13th remake. Also going in the top tier. This is yet another one that I prefer to the original. I don't care what anyone says, the Friday the 13th remake is badass, in my opinion. Jason is a goddamn beast in this movie. Jason is really fucking scary in this movie. Like, out of all the Friday the 13ths, I like Freddy vs. Jason, Final Chapter, and actually, I'm going to move this above Part 6. Yeah, I like Freddy vs. Jason and Final Chapter a little more, but in terms of what my favorite Jason is, remake, undisputably. Fucking badass and scary as shit. Awesome Jason. And the kills, also fucking awesome. Like, I really don't get the hate behind this movie. I seriously don't. This movie is so awesome. And it's getting another top tier from me. Oh my god. Oh, this movie's so fucking terrible. I don't mean to be so mean to the Texas Chainsaw franchise, but like, so much of it doesn't need to exist. So much of it didn't need to be made. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Oh my god. But yeah, this movie sucks. It has like weird timeline inconsistencies, and like it's got like 3D shit going on as well. Like, it's just stupid. Stupid. This movie sucks. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I think, yeah, that's getting not too shabby from me. I know a lot of people would put it lower, but I have more leeway on this movie, if I'm being completely honest. It's fine, it gets the job done. I think it's certainly, like, obviously it's lower than the first one, so I think it's a downgrade from the first movie, but it's got certain aspects that are a little better than the first movie, but overall I felt like it was an odd direction to go in. And I hope the third movie is better. I'm not keeping my hopes too high, if I'm being completely honest, but I think the third movie will at least be another not too shabby. And as for FNAF 2, it is not too shabby. Classic Predator. That is getting another top tier. For sure, getting another top tier. The original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger is awesome. The design of the Predator is very cool. The action sequences are awesome. I don't think I need to go too much into it because, I mean, like, everyone and their great-great-grandmothers has seen it. But, yeah, overall, another top tier, indisputably. Prometheus, the very odd Alien prequel. That's getting a good from me, because it is a good movie. I do like it, but it's just odd that it's connected to the Alien series. Like, I just wasn't expecting that, But overall, Yeah, yeah, another good, and like Michael is cool, and the alien designs is pretty cool. I think the engineer looks pretty cool, but I just don't get why it needed to be part of the Alien series. I feel like this could easily just be like its own sci-fi series, which is kind of what holds it back a little bit for me, because it's like the Halloween 3 situation where like if this was just its own thing, I would have it higher, but its attachment to Alien kind of holds it back a little bit for me. But it is still overall a good movie. Child's Play remake. Child's Play remake is getting not too shabby from me. I think it's all right. I'm not a huge fan of the AI direction they went in for it. Not because of anything AI related that's going on now, but like I just think overall it's whatever. I feel like this could have easily just been its own killer robot story and didn't really need to be Chucky, but it is what it is. Overall, fine. Saw 3D, trash. Trash. Complete garbage, trash. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get out of here with Saw 3D. Fuck no. Oh my god, that movie sucks. All I will say is that it is funny when Kramer comes out with the fucking backwards cap, and like the producers and the director really thought like, hey, we put a fucking cap on behind him and he's all of a sudden a different person. Oh my god. Dude, we revolutionized filming. No one's gonna be able to do better de-aging than us. Yeah. Overall, fucking stupid. Just dumb. Very dumb. Alright, now let's take a quick break to have a little blinker. It is essential to do something like that when you're ranking this many movies. Now cheers. I'm retarded. Sorry. Alright, back to business. Alright, moving on to our next film here, we have The Cult of Chucky. Cult of Chucky is gonna go in the good tier. I think Cult of Chucky is certainly one of the better Chucky sequels, definitely an improvement over Seed of Chucky. I know that there was one that came out before this and after Seed of Chucky, but still, I'm just saying that this movie is certainly an improvement over the worst of this franchise. And yeah, honestly, I like the idea of like the whole multiple Chuckies thing they've got going on. I like the asylum setting. I think it's all very cool and unique. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. Jigsaw. Jigsaw is gonna get a just okay from me. Just okay because the traps are decent, but the placement that this movie is supposed to be in the timeline makes like literally no sense, and it just kind of fucks with the Saw timeline even more than it already was. So I think, yeah, it's gonna get another just okay from me. Hellraiser Judgment, I believe. Yeah, another bargain bin for me. Another bargain bin. And yes, I know that there's another Hellraiser sequel coming up, but I'll be more nice to this one, trust me. I'll be more nice to that one. I know that that's the space one. But this was one that came out like just before they did this Hellraiser remake right here. And, again, it's just another movie that has just like a fucking generic plot that doesn't really have much to do with Pinhead or the Cenobites, but like they latched it onto the Cenobites hoping that would make the movie a few more extra bucks. And it's just, overall, a bargain bin. Hellraiser Bloodline, I believe is what that movie is. Hellraiser Bloodline. No, get out of there. You can actually go higher. Hellraiser Bloodline is going to go in not too shabby for me. Hellraiser Bloodline is certainly one of the better Hellraiser sequels. Even though I was just criticizing how dumb I think Jason X is for going into space, I think that movie also overall is just pretty dumb. Like, honestly, I would be able to get behind Jason X more if it was just a more... If the movie just wasn't so stupid, I would be able to get behind it more. Like, I would still hate the idea of Jason going to space, but I'd be able to swallow that pill better if the movie was at least good. And Bloodlines is kind of like that, like, Bloodlines is at least not that bad, like, I'm still not a huge fan of the idea of slashers going to space, unless it's like Alien or Predator, which they're already in space. But Bloodline is overall, it's not too shabby. Scream 5 will get good tier from me. Scream 5, it ain't that bad, but I feel like it's kind of redundant because it's a little bit of like, how do I put this? It's like the movie version of like a video game remaster. Like, this movie is basically just Scream 4 HD, if that makes sense, kind of like Zelda Wind Waker HD. Like, that's pretty much what this movie is. Like, it's just Scream 4 HD. Like, it gets all the same talking points as Scream 4. The plot is very similar to Scream 4, but overall it's still good. It's still worth checking out. It's just very redundant. Speaking of Scream 4, Scream 4 is going to go in very good, in my opinion. I have honestly come around to Scream 4 a lot more over the years. I wasn't a huge fan of it initially, but I think Scream 4 has actually aged significantly well with what the social media era has come to and what it has evolved into since this movie came out. Like, this movie almost weirdly kind of predicted the social climate that we would find ourselves in these days. Like, Scream 4 is genuinely the best Scream sequel, and it's the only one that comes close to the quality of the original, in my opinion. Overall, another very good. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is gonna get... debating between not too shabby and good, because this movie ain't that bad. I'm going to put it at the top of not too shabby. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I don't think it's that bad, but I'm not a huge fan of how many rules it breaks from the original movie. Like, I feel like this movie breaks too many rules. It's too inconsistent with the first movie, in my opinion. But putting that aside and judging it on its own merits, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Like, Freddy's makeup design is really cool. The kills are pretty cool. The gore and practical effects are pretty good. Actually, you know what? Matter of fact, I think I'll move it up into good. This is a good movie, but again, what really drags it down for me is how inconsistent it is with the first movie. And the fact that it pretty much is ignored by the rest of the franchise, other than like a brief flashback of Freddy vs. Jason that shows like a couple clips from this movie. And overall, it's good. It's good. I know that this movie is also pretty big with like the LGBT crowd, because it's got like that sort of hidden, like, well, it's not like hidden, but it's like, the sort of other theme that the movie has going on with the main character being closeted and whatnot. And like, so it's got some merit, but again, it's a little generic, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but the fact that it's so inconsistent with so many rules from the first movie is what brings it down for me ultimately. If it was just more consistent with the rules of the first movie, this might have even gone higher in the good tier, or maybe even in very good or top tier. Because, like, as you'll see with another Nightmare sequel that will be higher than this movie, it is possible to reach that quality. So overall, yeah, another good tier. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. This one is going to get a good tier from me. Another good tier for the Hellraiser franchise. Well, actually, I think this is the first good tier for the Hellraiser franchise. Never mind. Hellraiser 3 is a fun, little goofy movie, honestly. It's not too scary, but, like, it's fun and entertaining, and it's certainly one of the more watchable of the Hellraiser franchise. Which, I mean, you know, if you've seen the later sequels of the Hellraiser franchise, which I already fucking basically shoved into one little group down there for a reason, you know how boring and monotonous Hellraiser can get. And Hellraiser 3 is a nice... It's a nice sequel. It's a nice sequel overall. Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser 2 is going to go a little bit higher in the good tier. Hellraiser 2, I think, is really good. I like where it takes the Hellraiser franchise. I like how serious it is. Well, like, you know, it's as serious as the first movie, at least. The effects are just really good. Like, honestly, the effects in the Hellraiser franchise cannot be understated, at least for the first two movies. The Cenobites are just really cool. Really cool designs, and overall, another good tier. Another good tier. Saw X. Saw X. You are going in the top tier. In my mind, Saw X is indisputably the best Saw film. I love Saw X so much, and I wish we were getting a proper follow-up to it, and I really hope that wherever they take the Saw franchise after is... You better have a damn good reason for abandoning what you set up with Saw X, because god damn, that movie was fucking good. Like, genuinely, like, I'm surprised that, like, a Saw movie is so fucking good that I'm putting it in, like, the top tier. But, like, the traps are so fucking bloody, violent, and gross. I remember going to see this movie in the theaters with my cousin, and then, like, a week later saw it again with my friend. This was just so awesome. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. Another top tier. Another top tier. This, in my opinion, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors is the best movie on this entire list. I love Dream Warriors so much. This is a very special movie to me. I feel like Dream Warriors is an extremely underrated example of a sequel being better than the original. Now, if you think the original's better, that's perfectly fine. Like, honestly, there are definitely things about the original that I like more than Part 3, but I think Part 3 overall does everything the original did and more. In like the best way. It does everything the original did in the best way. I don't mean that in terms of like it just copied it. But like it did all the good things that the first thing did in the best way possible, and then some with the third one. I love how Freddy has like that perfect middle ground of being scary and funny. Like when he's scary, he's honestly pretty creepy and intimidating. But when he's funny, he's pretty fucking funny. Like Freddy can get a decent laugh out of you in Nightmare 3. This, like, it's got the perfect middle ground of being scary and funny. So overall, yeah, another top tier and the best movie on this entire list in my opinion. Boy, howdy, what a fucking jump that was. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. That's gonna get a bargain bin from me. Not quite complete garbage, but it's still pretty goddamn bad. It's still pretty bad, but like, it's a bargain bin in my opinion. Freddy's Dead is certainly the worst of the original Nightmare films. And, you know, that bubblegum look that Freddy had in Nightmare 5 that I complained about earlier, it definitely looks 10 times worse in this movie. But, you know, it's got a little bit of entertainment factor in it, in my opinion. Like, and again, shout out to the GOAT, Cody Leach, again, but I'm not quite on the same level of hate train on this movie as he is, but although I do respect that he feels that way, because this movie certainly does still suck. It's in fucking bargain bin for a reason. Moving on to Evil Dead Rise. God, this movie is fucking awesome. Another motherfucking very good. Another very good. God, I love Evil Dead Rise. This movie is so fucking cool. The mother being possessed in this movie was the best route they could have gone down. And the fucking, that one kill with the cheese grater, yeah, I won't go any further because I'm sure you can imagine how fucking gross that is. But, yeah, overall, I love the Evil Dead movies that don't have Ash. I know there's a lot of people that are kind of mixed on, like, Ash not being in Evil Dead movies, because then it's like, oh, you know, it's not Evil Dead without Ash. But I agree to disagree. You know, like, I certainly think the Ash side of Evil Dead is better, but that doesn't mean that the non-Ash side of it is bad. The non-Ash side of it is still absolutely worth checking out. And Evil Dead Rise is no exception. Fucking awesome movie. Bride of Chucky. Another banger. Another banger. It's going in the top tier. It's going in the top. Listen. 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 I love Bride of Chucky. This movie is fantastic in my opinion. This movie is goddamn hilarious. Like, it's not very scary, but like, well, I mean, yeah, it kind of has some scary moments here. It has creepy moments here and there, but it's not, like, scary. But movie is fucking hilarious. I love Tiffany. I think her character is fantastic and fucking hilarious. And this movie, overall, another top tier in my opinion. Hated the direction they took it with Seed of Chucky, but Bride, funny all the way through. Human characters, you know, maybe not that great, but who gives a fuck? They get the plot going, so who gives a fuck? Another top tier in my opinion. Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2, another top tier for the Chucky franchise. Another motherfucking top tier. Child's Play 2 is awesome. I think, you know, this is definitely the one where they started to lean into comedy more. But Child's Play 2 is kind of like Nightmare 3 in the sense that it's got that perfect middle ground of funny and scary Chucky. Like, when Chucky's funny in this movie, he's pretty funny. And when Chucky's scary in this movie, he's pretty scary. So yeah, overall, another top tier for the Child's Play franchise. And would you look at that, we're almost done. God damn, we've got 16 movies left to cover. So I think for this next one, I'm going to do a little bit of a bucket poll. I'm gonna close my eyes and click a random one, and we'll see which one it goes on. So, let's give this a shot. No, wait. I think that's too easy. Oh, I went too far. Well, closest one I was at was Texas Chainsaw 2. Texas Chainsaw 2. That's going to get a good from me. Texas Chainsaw 2 is honestly pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, you know, it's certainly a very weird change of pace from the original film, but it's still worth checking out for what it is, honestly. You know, it's a goofy, fun time. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that in good. It 20... Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Did I seriously almost called this It 2017. No, this is It 1991, I believe. 90s It is also going to get a good from me. It can live right next to its 2017 counterpart. It is pretty good. I like how uncanny Tim Curry's Pennywise is. That's definitely a pretty cool thing that he's always had going for his performance. And the movie is genuinely not that scary to me. Like, even as a kid, like, it creeped me out like a little bit, but like I'll be honest, like, this one kind of scared me a little more than this one, because, like, I didn't see, like, the 90s It when I was, like, super young. I saw it when I was, like, 12, 13, so, it just didn't really scare me as much. But I appreciate it. I think it's good. That last half's not that great, but what is good is pretty good. Up next, I'm going to do another bucket poll, and let's do Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection. You're going in bargain bin. Alien Resurrection sucks. I think the only cool thing it has going for it is like that one like skull alien that's in it that looks pretty cool. I don't know, like, is that, I forget if that's like an actual creature in the movie or if it's like a dead xenomorph or something. But that was pretty cool. But this movie overall just sucks. Same with Alien 3, like, just not very good. Moving on here, we've got Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands, I'm not gonna lie, I really love this movie. I think, yeah, I'm gonna put it in top tier, honestly. Badlands is fucking awesome in my opinion. Like, honestly, I think a lot of the criticisms surrounding it are just kind of silly. Like, I can understand the inherent criticism of like, oh, this Predator is so different from like what we're supposed to know from Predators in like Yautja culture and whatnot. But to that, I say it's okay that certain ones go on different paths and learn different things, because like it's the same thing as humans. Not every single human is going to learn the same lessons and do the same things and go down the same paths. Like, why shouldn't that be the same for other Yautjas? You know what I mean? So overall, and I think like the plot of this movie was awesome. I love how it's just like very casually connected to the Alien franchise without like being like all abundant and up in your face and throwing nostalgia Easter eggs at you every other minute. Like, it's just like, hey, Weyland-Yutani is part of this and the synthetics are part of this, But we're not gonna nostalgia bait you over this. It's just a part of the movie. And so yeah, overall, I think Badlands is another top tier. A fucking awesome movie. Ooh, AVP Requiem. Trash. This movie is fucking trash. I think we can all agree Alien v Predator Requiem is just no bueno. I mean, like, props for at least making it rated R, but like, God, why is the lighting of the movie just like non-existent? Can't see a goddamn thing in like a single second of this movie. But the Predator alien's pretty cool, at the very least. That's like the only thing that's making me think about putting this in bargain bin, but nah. I can appreciate the Predator alien design, but acknowledge that movie is still complete garbage. So yeah, overall, another complete garbage. And for this one, let's do another bucket poll. Let's go with Curse of Chucky. Curse of Chucky, I'm going to give to good. Curse of Chucky is pretty good. It's definitely a nice return to form for the franchise after Seed. I like that it takes itself more seriously. The jokes that are in this movie do work pretty well, in my opinion. And yeah, overall, another good tier. Up next, we've got Classic Texas Chainsaw, another bucket pull, and this is obviously, unquestionably, going up into the top tier. Because it's OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, this movie is a classic. It is horrific and terrifying and gross. It is still, it's another Jaws type movie. It still holds up very well to this day. To this day, still as effective as ever, still as disgusting and gross as ever. Another top tier. Okay, let's see. Do I want to do Prey or another bucket pull? Yeah, I'll do Prey. Prey is going in the very good for me. I love Prey. Prey is a very awesome movie. Again, it's kind of like another Curse of Chucky situation. You know, it pulled the franchise out of like a few years drought, and it put it into a really good spot. And now Predator is thriving with like movies like Badlands and whatnot. And Prey is a great addition. I love the Predator in this movie. I love that it's like I love that it's in like Jesus Christ. I love the time period that it's set in. I was trying to think of the specific name for it because it's got like natives and everything, but like I couldn't quite think of it. But it's very awesome, the culture that they portrayed in this movie, and like I love the main character. I think she's very awesome. I love her fights with the Predator. I love how she figures out how to fight the Predator over time. It is extremely reminiscent of the first movie. Like it's like a callback to the first movie without even being a callback to the first movie. Like it's so cool. Very awesome movie. Up next is Saw 3. Saw 3 will get a good from me. It's an alright sequel. You know, they definitely kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with this movie because they killed Kramer so early on. But overall, it's good. It's pretty good. Predators from 2010. I think a lot of good entries. We're getting a lot of goods in here. Predators will get another just good from me. I think the plot is pretty decent. The Predators are very cool. Like the characters fighting the Predators, like all that stuff is very cool. But friggin' Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3's character, I'm kind of blanking his name at the moment, but his character kind of has like dumb motivations for why he's a villain and what he does against the Predator. So that is what ultimately kind of drags the movie down a little bit. But if it weren't for that, the movie would probably go a little bit higher. Up next is It Chapter 2. That's gonna get a not too shabby from me because it's not the worst, but it's also just like. Actually, no. That's going in. Yeah, you're going in just okay, to be honest. Yeah, It Chapter 2 is not really the greatest, but it also ain't the worst. It's just dumb because they did the whole CGI spider thing again. When it's like, dude, it was done in the '90s movie. This is clearly an idea you can't pull off on film very well. Just take your own liberties a little bit, you know? Or at least make the design look cool or something, you know? And like, you know, it's just, I don't know, the movie seems... It seems like it's trying, like it's funny, but it's not trying to be in a weird way. Like you're laughing at things that are supposed to be scary, you know? Like, and it's just, I don't know, it's just an odd movie, so, you know, it gets it just okay from me. Up next, Predator Killer of Killers. This one is going to get a very good from me. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Predator Killer of Killers. I think the animation of this movie is fantastic. I love that it explores the 3 different eras that Predators have fought in. But I will agree that it seems this movie did kind of waste potential for potential future Predator stories, because like the fact that it like explores all 3 of these like different eras of time and they're all just kind of condensed all into this one movie kind of kills the potential for like future movies to maybe explore those different eras in like their own full-length format as opposed to just like small sections of like an animated movie. But putting all that aside and just like appreciating what we have, it's this movie's still awesome. This movie still rocks. Like this movie's got like fantastic animation, the fucking gore and violence is awesome, the fight scenes are great, and overall another very good in my opinion. Saw 6. Saw 6 is going to get a good from me because it is certainly one of the better Saw sequels but it's not the most memorable. Like, I feel like a lot of the Saw sequels kind of struggle with being memorable, much like a lot of sequels to these franchises. But Saw especially because, like, you know, it's just, like, Kramer's not even in them at this point, and it's like, you know, it's... Or maybe Kramer is in Saw 6. I don't know, I've heard, you know, they all just run together. They all just kind of run together, But the movie as a whole is still good. Like, I remember this one has, like, Roderick from the fucking Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, that is pretty funny, honestly. But, yeah, overall, another good. And another bucket pull, we'll take the last Texas Chainsaw movie, and I'm going to put this one in just okay. Yeah, this one's just okay. It's kind of like a better version of this Leatherface movie right here, because, like, again, I think exploring the origins of Leatherface is just kind of silly, in my opinion. I think that's just kind of a redundant idea for what is supposed to be a movie based on true events, and overall, the movie itself is honestly just kind of boring, in my opinion. So it is getting just okay. Just okay. Up next, the last Alien film of the list, Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant will also join its Prometheus brother in good. Alien Covenant is pretty good. I think it's a little bit better than Prometheus, in my opinion, because it's a little bit better than Prometheus, in my opinion, because, you know, it's more of an Alien movie. You know, it actually, if it's going to be part of the Alien franchise, why not actually feel like you're part of it, you know? And this movie actually, it does a pretty good job of that, and I like that it leans more into the Alien lore, whereas, like, you know, like, Prometheus kind of seemed like it would have worked better as, like, its own standalone thing. But overall, another good. And now, the final film of this tier list, Predator 2. What an interesting movie to end on. Not that the movie is, like, super interesting or anything, but I think it's gonna go in good. Our last... What do you know? The last movie of the list is going in the most overbloated tier of this entire list. But overall, I think Predator 2 is pretty good. I like Danny Glover in the movie. I think the deeper exploration of the Predator lore was pretty cool. But, you know, there is a little bit of goofiness in it that holds it back from being better than the original, and there are just sequels that are better than this one in general. But it ain't the worst. It's honestly still a pretty good time, and I really love the xenomorph skull Easter egg in the background. That's honestly some pretty cool shit. Well, you've made it to the end of the video. What did you think of my tier list? What are your thoughts? How would you rank these movies down below? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.